Hello, everyone. I'm not sure what this video is going to be. I'm also alone this week. Me and Anthony's schedules were two passing ships in a sea, but I still wanted to put something out for the week. The one acting race, we haven't talked about the acting races for the upcoming Oscars yet because it's kind of still insanely early, but the one acting race we always all care about the most is Best Actress. And I thought, well, why not just give a little preview of all the contenders that we think will be in contention for said category at this upcoming award season before we head into Cannes and all the other film festivals and to get a much better idea. So an early preview of the Best Actress race in particular. Let's just shout out Award Expert. We're going to look at their community rankings. So the rankings of all of the users combined, their top 5 and below. Starting off at number 1, I think lots of people's number 1, Julie Roberts for After the Hunt. She's playing a college professor who a colleague of hers who she has relations with, played by Andrew Garfield, gets accused of sexual misconduct by a student played by Hathaway. And it's about that whole thing going down, and it seems like from the synopsis as well, Julie Roberts' character has some of her own inner demons and secrets. It's Luca Guadagnino directing. This is the biggest star Luca has ever had in one of his films. They've been led by Timmy, Taylor Russell, Dakota Johnson. I'm trying to think. That's most of them. Zendaya. Zendaya is a pretty big star, but not quite as much tenure, especially when it comes to like award stuff, as a star like Julia Roberts. It's kind of seemed like a comeback role for her. Lots of comparisons to Tar. I've talked to people who have read the script. I don't think it's going to be quite as intelligent. No offense, but quite as philosophical. I just don't think it's going to hit maybe as deep as Tar, but I still think it's a juicy role. It's Julia Roberts back in the limelight in this kind of role. I see no reason to not have her getting nominated, even if, as I am, if you're skeptical of the film as an overall contender, I still feel like this is like the kind of thing that the Academy voters will go for, especially looking at the field this year. Even if the film gets nothing else, I still think Julia Roberts gets in, but we'll see. Obviously, this is like, we don't know the reviews for like 90% of these movies, and we have no clue. Who knows? It's Luca, though, and he doesn't make terrible movies. He sometimes makes movies that don't appeal to the Academy, like A Challengers or A Queer. But of all of his films, this seems like the most baity and appeals to the Academy. So we'll see. It's distributed by Amazon MGM. They're not always the best in terms of campaigning, but sometimes I think this has like a level of star power, both in front of and behind the camera, that I think might be able to overcome that, whereas films like a Women Talking or a Nickel Boys, regardless of where you rank the film as a contender, I would have Julie Roberts in there. I'd say she's also a potential win contender, but that I think depends. I think nomination feels pretty safe. Obviously, once again, it's April. But win, which most people, 61% on Awards Expert have her winning. So obviously, she's doing great in those regards. I think that will depend on how strong the film is. If the film isn't Best Picture, then I definitely see a narrative there for her. And she also could just like be a Renee Zellweger, where the film maybe not be completely strong, but she just sweeps the entire season because of narrative and such. So I would have her in there for sure. Number 2 on Awards Expert is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good. This is iffy in all regards when it comes to Wicked for Good's acting nomination potential. We've never really had a situation quite like this. We have like other like fantasy films that did well at the Oscars, like Lord of the Rings. I believe Ian McKellen got in for the first one. He didn't get in for the subsequent films. But I don't think any of these fantasy films, like even a Black Panther, I think no acting nominations for the first one. Angela Bassett got in for the second one. None of them have been quite as like strong with like the acting contingent of the Academy as Wicked has been. So it's interesting. I still have doubts about, especially in regards to Erivo. I do think she's very likely going to win the song category, and I think it might be established very early on in the award season that like that is where we're going to award her. She's going to win Best Original Song. She could still get nominated, obviously. But part of me thinks also if this is like a competitive field this year, that people might be like, oh, well, we just nominated her last year. We're going to give her flowers in another category. Maybe she gets passed over because it's really hard to get in for a sequel. Like for a sequel that you were nominated for the first time around. I believe the only times those have happened is in the Godfather films, and I guess the Cate Blanchett Elizabeth films, if you count that as like a connected thing. Those are the only two off the top of my mind that I think it has happened. I mean, even then, I'm not sure if Pacino got in for both of the Godfather films. Okay, so he got in supporting actor for Godfather and then lead actor for Godfather Part 2. So there was a category switch there too. So I don't know if anyone has ever, besides once again Cate Blanchett, if you count that for Elizabeth, gotten in the same lead acting category for both the first film and the second film. So I don't know. I have doubts in those regards. There is no precedent for it. Once again, Wicked is like kind of there hasn't been anything like it. So obviously it makes sense if you do have her getting nominated. I'm unwary about it. I'll give my 5 at the end of the video. I'm iffy about it. I definitely would not have her number 2. She could obviously still get in. I don't know as much about the second half, but from what I've heard, it seems like Grande might be have a better shot in those regards. But yeah, we'll see. I think either way, she's probably going to win an Oscar and be the youngest person to EGOT with the original song. So I feel very good about this. Lots of doubting around Hamnet for some reason. I think lots of people see Focus's main push being Bugonia. I'm iffy on that film from everything I have heard from stuff. I just feel like I feel like it's a mix of Poor Things Yorgos and Kinds of Kindness Yorgos, and we just have to see which way it leans more. So we'll see about that. But Hamnet just screams Oscar stuff to me in all regards. Chloe Zhao, Jessie Buckley. It's I know some people might be like, oh, it's going to be too depressing. It's going to be too dark and dreary. Half of the film is about her meeting and falling in love with Shakespeare. It jumps back and it does like the time back and forth thing. But yeah, there's obviously sad stuff dealing with the death of their child and all of that. But in terms of performances, Jessie Buckley is at the center of this film. This is her. Both she'll get to play different ages, different periods of life. She'll have like her happy moments, meeting Shakespeare, falling in love, and then obviously her child dies, and there's a lot of grief and stuff going around that. Shakespeare becomes more of a distant father. All of that stuff, lots of stuff going on. It'll be an emotional performance, even if the film isn't in Best Picture. Jessie Buckley, previous nominee, an incredible actress. I feel it's a juicy role. I don't really have any doubts about it, honestly. Number 4 is Renate Reinsve for Sentimental Value. I feel pretty good about this as well. Sentimental Value, I feel very good about as a contender overall. And she is once again at the center of this, once again teaming up with Joaquin Trier. And she was amazing in Worst Person in the World. And then this sounds like an equally juicy role. She is playing the daughter of a filmmaker who she has a strained relationship with, who the filmmaker is played by Stellan Skarsgård. He returns back home because he is making a film, I think somewhat related to their family, but it takes place after their mom had recently passed, and he's using the film because I believe Renate Reinsve's character plays an actress. He's using the film as an opportunity to reconnect with his daughters, and he offers her the lead role. She denies it. Another actress, a Hollywood actress, takes the role played by Elle Fanning. So there is some conflict, some drama. You're dealing with grieving, you're dealing with strained relationships, all that stuff. She's amazing in everything I've seen, and it sounds like a juicy role. If you have it in picture, I think you should have her an actress. She could miss, but I feel like the film is strong enough that she feels pretty good to me. In April, once again reminding you, it's April. None of this is stupid that I'm doing it, but it's also fun. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you don't, leave a comment, I guess. Number 5 is interesting. Emma Stone for Bugonia. I was just talking about Bugonia. I'm not as much of a believer in Bugonia as others. It's a wait and see for me, honestly. I know based off the original film that this is based off of, that this would be maybe more of a supporting role, but it's Emma Stone in a Yorgos film. She shaved her head for it. I think they probably beefed up her role. So she probably would be lead. But yeah, I don't know. She's playing a CEO. I've been doing a good job of describing all of the roles so far. She's playing a CEO who gets kidnapped by 2 people who think she's like doing her company and her practices are ruining the world in terms of like environment and all that stuff. And the kidnapped by Jesse Plemons, and I forget the other guy's name. They pretty much like torture her, and I imagine they shave her head is one of the things that they do. Obviously, Emma has gotten in for the 2 previous. For the before Kinds of Kindness, the 2 previous Yorgos films that she did. So they're a great pairing together. I don't know, a film about torturing a CEO whose practices are probably not the best for the world could be timely, could also throw some people off. It depends on, the people in the Academy, how many of them lean specific ways on certain subjects and certain feelings on things. I don't think she would get in if the film wasn't a contender. I don't think that would happen. Giving Jesse Plemons will probably be the main standout of the film. So we'll see. I don't know. I won't have her that high. Number 6, Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. Going to Cannes. We'll hear more about it soon. Apparently, there's been rumors on some of the sites that it has screened to quite good reception. Once again, just rumors. Always take this stuff this early on with a grain of salt. A few weeks ago, there were rumors that Sinners wasn't testing well. Did not pan out too great there. But yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, Die My Love. She's playing like a mother, I think, dealing with like postpartum depression, living out in like the Midwestern. Strained relationships with pretty much all people around. Sissy Spacek, Robert Pattinson, Nick Nolte, also in the film. I think Lakeith Stanfield as well. Everything from what I've read about this book and this role seems like this could potentially be like career best work from her. My favorite performance of hers is Mother, and this seems like it's in the Mother vein, but less horror. The Mother wasn't even that horror-y. It's more psychological horror, but I feel like this will be even more. I don't know. I think it will be more accessible than something like Mother was. But yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Jennifer Lawrence does seem like the kind of actress to me right now who kind of similar to Emma Stone. She could go for a second Oscar at this point. I feel like she's been away from the dramatic prestige scenes since Joy was her last nomination, so pretty much a decade at this point. She's done a few blockbusters. She was just in No Hard Feelings 2 years ago at this point. And she was in Don't Look Up and stuff like that. So she's been around, but she hasn't like been. She was like really like awards like staple strong presence there for like a good 5 years, from like Winter's Bone to Joy, a little more than 5 years. But yeah, I feel like we might be entering a Lawrence-sance. And I don't know. From what I've read about the role, it sounds juicy. I'm rooting for Jennifer Lawrence. She's just so charming, especially on like a campaign trail. If she really commits to it, I think the fact that she really committed on the campaign trail for Causeway and really got out there and promoted that film is how Brian Tyree Henry ended up getting nominated. So yeah, we'll see. She didn't get in for that, but I forgot about it. Yeah, Causeway's one for best performances. I feel like that performance though is more subtle. I think she's going to be going through a lot. That's going to be very emotional. That's going to be showy. And I think this is going to be a bigger contender overall. I think this is going to do well at Cannes. I think it will win a major prize. I could see this getting. I don't want to spoil future prediction videos. I could see it getting picture. I could see it getting actress, and I could see it getting supporting actress. I could see it getting maybe Pattinson. I don't know about that. I could see it definitely being strong in adapted screenplay. That's a very barren field right now, in my opinion, in terms of potential nominees. So I could see it definitely doing great there, and maybe that's where they choose to award Lynn Ramsey. I'm keeping an eye on a lot of the Cannes films because we've gotten like 2 or 3 big contenders out of there for the past few years. And who would have thought Sean Baker for Anora would have won 4 Oscars? Because Sean Baker, previously not considered a super Oscar friendly filmmaker, he never really been. Florida Project was really the only time he really got anything. Lynn Ramsey also never been a really Oscar friendly type of filmmaker. She got close getting nominations with We Need to Talk About Kevin. I think that was her only time the film didn't even get any nominations, I don't believe. So she didn't get quite as close as Sean Baker has, but I don't know. I'm less so when it comes to certain filmmakers. I'm hesitant to be like, well, they haven't made Oscar films before, so and their films haven't appealed to the Academy before, so it's not going to happen this time around, just because the Academy continually changing, continually evolving. I don't think the Academy of a few years ago would have given Flo the Oscar. And the voting practices are also changing and all of that. There's a lot going on. So I'm hesitant to say that in regards to most filmmakers, honestly. I feel very good about Jennifer Lawrence, honestly. Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee. Anne Lee, what an interesting film. It's Mona Fassbeld is returning to direct. I forget the last. She wrote on The Brutalist, and Vox Lux, her and Brady Corbet seem to be like switching back and forth a little bit in terms of who is writing and directing. This is Mona directing this time around. She wrote the script with Brady Corbet. I don't know. And Amanda Seyfried plays like a religious Anne Lee, a religious like kind of leader. She's part of like the Shaker movement where like people dance and stuff. You can do more reading and research on it. It sounds like a juicy role. It will also be a musical-ish. I don't know if it's like going to be full musical, but there will be lots of singing and dancing. Amanda Seyfried, amazing at said stuff. Have you seen the Mamma Mia films? So she's in her bag when it comes to this. it's a wait and see for me in terms of her. I would love to see Amanda Seyfried get some more Oscars attention. She got her first nomination for Meg. I think she's a great actress. I'm just iffy on the film overall. I don't know. I know people will be like, oh, Mona Festival and Brie Corbet just did amazing with The Brutalist. That was their first time. That's not like that was their first film. That was their first time breaking in. So obviously they have broken in now. They did great with that film in terms of award stuff. So there will be more attention on this film this time around. But that's also something that I'm hesitant to do. Like once you breaking through once in terms of like the Academy is great, but that doesn't mean that these filmmakers are going to break through with all of their films afterwards. Like I do love Amanda Seyfried, and I do think it's the kind of role that could get nominated. So I would have this is around where I would probably have her at 7. Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. This is another like postpartum like anxiety. People have compared to Uncut Gems. It screened at Sundance, I believe. Got great reviews, especially for Rose Byrne and her performance. I think was it picked up? It was picked up by A24. She also won the Golden Bear or the Silver Bear for lead acting performance at the Berlinale Film Festival. So it's gotten accolades. I just, especially when it comes to A24, no offense to them, they're not the best when it comes to campaigning, especially multiple films. Last year we saw that with Sing Sing. Once they got The Brutalist, they were all in on The Brutalist, and Sing Sing kind of suffered for that. And they're also not the greatest when it comes to like releasing and handling of their films. They've had a stronger distributor. Like if this was a Sony Pictures Classics, who does amazing, especially in getting like lead actors and actor performances, I'd be like, ooh, this could maybe happen. But right now, I don't think this will happen. We'll see. We'll have to see where A24 places it in the award season, but I do think they're going to have multiple other priorities. Probably, I would guess, in this category alone. This is the first A24 film I have mentioned. We'll have to see. Maybe they pick up Dime, I Love Her, and Lee. Those don't have any distribution. So it could be their priority in actress, but I have a feeling it won't be. June Squibb for Eleanor the Great at number 9. This is I would love to see it happen. June Squibb, but this is the second film she's leading at the age of 95, I believe. Directed by Scarlett Johansson. I would love to see it happen, but I have a feeling we've just got another Thelma on our hands here. We'll know more about it when it screens at Cannes in a few weeks. I believe it doesn't have any distribute. Oh no, it does. Speaking of Sony Pictures Classics, this does have Sony Pictures Classics behind it, and right now it seems like their main push in Best Actress. So they've definitely got that. Makes me consider it a lot more. I'd have to know more about the film though and its tone, because right now it's about an older woman who moves to the city just to like get a new lease on life, it seems, and she like makes new friends and stuff. I have a feeling it's going to be more like a Sundance film vibe than a Cannes film vibe. I feel like it's going to be more of like a fun feel good film. I don't know how much of like the film is going to like appeal to like awards prestige stuff. So it's a wait and see. Sony Pictures Classics and June Squibb, Everyone Loves Her, are the main things that are making me consider it. So we'll see. Tessa Thompson for Hedda. I was much higher on this previously. It's still a wild card for sure, Hedda. I feel like, I don't know what Amazon MGM's main push this year is going to be. I'm unsure of what they're going to do unlike other studios. You've got Hedda, you've got After the Hunt, and then you've got Preparation for the Next Life, which is something we mentioned on our earlier our preview for, I believe we mentioned all three of those for our preview of the preview we did a few weeks back. Preparation for Next Life is much more not very known by a lot of people right now. I believe it's scheduled for a release later this year. It's got the same team behind Hedda in terms of producing most of them. It's definitely, both of them have Dee Dee Gardner. But I believe Preparation for the Next Life, I think, also has Orion behind them. So that's a good sign. It depends. Hedda Gabler is a juicy, one of the best roles an actress can have on the stage. Nina Costa, I think, is a good director. I think she's gotten held back by the franchise stuff. So I think this is kind of going to be a return to form for her. And the category has been looking, outside of Cynthia, very white. You got Hilder doing the score. You've got Nina Haas in there. I'd definitely consider it just because Hedda Gabler is such a good role. I don't know if you haven't seen a Hedda Gabler, like a performance, an actress performing Hedda Gabler on stage, maybe check out this film. When it comes out, it's a great role. So, and Tessa Thompson is a great actress. Should have been nominated for Passing. So I would love to see it happen. Number 11, Sydney Sweeney for the Christy Martin biopic. I believe this is probably going to come out this year. It's not dated yet. This could be her I, Tonya moment. That has been the comparison I've seen for the film. But I don't know. I feel like Margot Robbie was in a better place career-wise than Sydney Sweeney is right now in terms of like being in this kind of awards Oscar fair. She had been in like Best Picture nominated films previously. Sydney Sweeney is not quite on that level yet. She's very invested in this film. She's producing it. She worked out. She gained a lot of muscle for it. This kind of right now reads to me as like at least I can't speak on previous TIFFs, but last TIFF I was there was like 3 or 4 like sports, especially like boxing films that released that like before the festival had like buzz for performances. Like you had, God, I don't even remember their names. You had the one with Jeremy Pope in it. You had the one with Brian Tyree Henry in it. I don't remember either of their names. There was also another one, I'm pretty sure. There was the one with Orlando Bloom that was also like a sports one that all of them had going into the festival potential like awards, at least acting contender hype, and then none of them panned out. This kind of feels like it might be like that to me, but we'll see. You know, Sydney Sweeney, very good at campaigning and just marketing in general. Very business savvy, so we'll see. Jessica Lange for Long Day's Journeys into Night. Great actress, great role. This film has already like screened some places and has like actual legit reviews out there. I believe at a festival, and there's just absolutely no buzz around it. I just don't see it happening. No offense to Miss Lange, but we'll see. I'll say that at the end of all of these, we'll see. Anne Hathaway for Mother Mary. We'll see how many more of these I do, because we're heading into less sure territory. Mother Mary, I don't think it's going to be that strong of an awards play. I think the main stuff that would probably get is either costume or original song. Nothing. She's playing a musician who has like I forget exactly. I think like a relationship or something with a costume designer played by Michaela Cole. Hunter Shaver is also in the film. It's distributed by A24. I just did some of the comments David Lowery has made about this film, and he says like he's confused about it in the edit, and he's like still trying to figure it out. I just don't see this as a major awards contender, so I don't think it'll happen for Anne Hathaway. Would love to be proven wrong. Emma Mackey for Ella McCay, kind of the same situation. James L. Brooks has not really hit it out of the park anytime recently. He's kind of I'm just not gonna completely invest in that stock until I like actually hear reviews for it. And it's like, oh, okay, it's actually a great movie, because she's not going to get in if the film isn't in Best Picture, and if it's not a strong Best Picture contender. She is mostly really known for her work on Sex Education. Great actress. I loved her on that show, and I hope it's a good role. She's playing like she's stepping into. She's quite young for this kind of role, but I think that's also part of the story. Stepping into a local political position because I believe her father passed away. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. Woody Harrelson is in it. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't completely believe in it. Same goes with next up is Olivia Colman at 15 for The Roses. This is a she'll maybe get Golden Globe nomination, but this is a comedy releasing in August. It's not going to hit any of the festival. It's more of like a box office play than anything else. So I don't see it for that. Amy Adams for At the Sea. This is kind of similar to Saoirse Ronan in The Outrun. It's dealing with a recovering alcoholic. So I don't know. Didn't really work out for Saoirse Ronan in The Outrun, and Amy Adams. You know, I'm rooting for her to make a comeback. Didn't happen last year for her either for Night Bitch. Even just looking at the supporting cast around her, like Murray Bartlett, Rainn Wilson, Brett Goldstein, Dan Levy, Jenny Slate, like I'm not even completely sure the tone of this film, because it sounds like serious based on the premise, which is like after rehab, she returns to her family's beach home, readjusting her whole life and finding her new identity. She's moving on. That sounds pretty serious to me. That cast is not giving serious to me. That's giving more comedy to me. So we'll see. Zendaya for the drama is at 17. She's married. She's about to get married to Robert Pattinson in this film. This is an A24 film from the director of Dream Scenario that came out a few years ago. She's about to get married, I think, like a few days before their wedding, and like suddenly, like information and new stuff it happens that is revealed that might threaten their relationship. I don't know. Not screaming an awards thing to me. Screaming a TIFF. Screaming We Live in Time. This year's We Live in Time is what it's screaming. So I think that will be that. Zendaya will get an eventually. She'll probably get in for the Barry Jenkins film that she is doing. She's respected, but I don't think this film is going to be that strong. We're really getting into people. We'll probably only do a few more here. Zoey Deutch next for Nouvelle Vague. This I could see happening. If it gets great reviews at Cannes, she could win the prize at Cannes for Best Actress. Obviously, this is a film about the making of Breathless, directed by Richard Linklater. She's playing Jean Seberg. Next up at 22 is Sebiye Behtiyar for preparation for the next life. I'm assuming she's the lead actress of that film. That's surprisingly high. Yeah, but I believe she is playing. If she is the lead actress, I assume then an undocumented immigrant who moves to New York after being released from a detention center. She meets a discharged army vet, and they navigate the challenges of starting a new life together. It sounds like an amazing film. It's giving like past lives a little bit to me in terms of the connection between the characters. It's obviously got a great producing team behind it. Great director. It's I forget his name. The director. He got nominated for a documentary previously. Happened. Similar case to Ramel Ross last year. This is his feature narrative debut. If it's a thing, maybe. But even then, past lives was a thing, and none of the actors got in. So I don't know. Maybe if it's super strong, then yeah. Next, Ariana Grande, Wicked for Good. She's going to go supporting Dakota Johnson for Material. That's a commercial play. Rebecca Ferguson for the Catherine Bigelow film. I still don't know enough about that, and even then, that doesn't seem like the kind of film that gets individual acting noms. But we'll see. I love Rebecca Ferguson, so I'd love it. Jodie Foster for Vie Privée. We'll have to see more. When we learn more about it after it screens at Cannes. I could definitely see that potentially happening. I believe she's going to be speaking in French the entire film. So you've got that. Lily Gladstone for The Men with Police. That's not going to happen. Sophie Thatcher for Companion. We're really getting into territory where this is just not going to happen. So those are the main people in contention. Obviously, other people will pop up at films that we haven't even heard about. It's April. Who knows at this point? I would say right now, your winner's name is going to start with a J. I would say your winner is either going to be Julie Roberts, Jessie Buckley, or Jennifer Lawrence. Like, looking at these other options, unless like some of them like become big contenders, I don't know if I see them winning. Like, Ronda Reinsve is my number 4. I don't know. That movie would have to win Best Picture, I think, for her to win overall. My 5th spot is between Tessa Thompson and Amanda for Hedda and Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee. Those are the main ones I'm considering. Cynthia could happen. I'm hesitant. I'm waiting to see. Just because of the whole sequel thing, but who knows? It could definitely still happen. So yeah, I'm still between Tessa Thompson and Amanda Seyfried, and I know more about the role of Hedda and how juicy that is than I do about the role of Anne Lee. I know who Anne Lee is, but I don't know. I feel like I can get a better picture of Tessa Thompson's performance than I can of Amanda Seyfried's performance. So I'm gonna say Tessa Thompson for Hedda, and Anne Lee, Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee would be my number 6. And I probably have Cynthia, Zoey Deutch, Sydney Sweeney, Emma Stone, Rose Byrne, June Squibb would be next in line. Those are probably the main people. And winning, I actually would have Jennifer Lawrence. I think Die My Love is going to be a bigger contender than most people expect it to be. And I think that this performance, like, if this film is a like Best Picture level contender and it has this performance in it, I think the biggest performances in terms of emotion and like showing this year is going to be Jennifer Lawrence and Jessie Buckley, both dealing with big emotions, their characters. So I think I would have one of them winning. Julie Roberts for After the Hunt. She could, like, once again just be a sweeper. I don't know. I think that is also going to be a more subdued performance. I don't think she's going to have as many big moments as a Jessie Buckley or Jennifer Lawrence. I think lots of people, kind of like with Emma Stone for Poor Things, which is when she won her second Oscar. I think most people are going to be saying in the buzz, this is her best work. And that can carry you to a second Oscar, especially if you're as charming as Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are. We'll have to see who picks it up, because these other films, Hamnet has a distributor, it's got focus behind it that's strong. After the Hunt, Amazon MGM, they can pull it off. Sentimental Value got Neon behind it. Obviously, they won this category last year. And Hedda has, I've got 2 Amazon MGMs in here. We'll have to see. I don't know if they're that strong. And Anne Lee and some of these others don't have distribution, just like Die My Love. So if Die My Love gets weak distribution, then I would probably change that. But right now, I think it's going to get great reviews, and I think A24 or Neon will probably pick it up. Would be my guess. So yeah, that is my little thing that I'm going to upload for the channel this week, because I had nothing else to really talk about. We'll do Emmy predictions next week, and then pretty much Cannes soon after. Cannes starts middle of May and goes for a few weeks. So we'll obviously talk about that. And then after that, we'll really jump into our early predictions for all of the categories and all this stuff. So yeah, what do you think this Best Actress crop is looking like? Who are you in year 5? Who are in your predictions? Whose performance are you most excited to see? I think my winner is also who I'm most excited to see. So maybe I'm biased. I think I'm most excited to see Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love. I'm also really excited to see Tessa Thompson hopefully get an opportunity to like get that nomination. And Hedda, I'm excited for all these performances. It's everyone's favorite acting category, so obviously. But yeah, who are you most excited performance to see? Who do you have getting nominated? Did I miss anyone? Who knows? But yeah, like, comment, all that stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.